The CEO was shocked to discover that the little boy actually had 6 fingers. He thought the CEO would be frightened, but the next moment, the CEO dropped to his knees in front of the boy's mother, apologizing repeatedly to both the boy and his mother. The reason the CEO reacted so strongly when seeing the boy's fingers was because only his family's bloodline had 6 fingers worldwide. So, when the CEO immediately concluded that this child must be his biological son, the truth was revealed 6 years ago. The CEO had developed a zoospermia after a car accident, leaving only 1 vial of sperm to carry on the family line. However, by mistake, a nurse at the hospital swapped the vials and implanted the CEO's sperm into a stranger's body. What they didn't know was that the woman not only gave birth to the child, but also raised him. But the boy, due to being born with 6 fingers, was often bullied by his classmates. To afford treatment for her son, the woman had no choice but to take him to play with a rich family's child. Before entering the house, she made sure to put gloves on her son's right hand. But they never expected that the employer was actually the boy's grandmother. It turned out that the elderly woman, missing her loved ones, had gone blind from crying. To ease her sorrow, she adopted a child from an orphanage. But when the adopted grandson saw someone else fighting for his grandmother's affection, he became very angry. At this point, the butler gave the young master a look, signaling him to keep acting spoiled. Then, the boy was blamed for making the young master cry, and they tried to have the mother and son thrown out. However, in the process, the glove was accidentally pulled off, revealing the boy's 6 fingers. The butler was immediately shocked and secretly tore a strand of the boy's hair for a DNA test, hoping to use a genetic defect excuse to get rid of the boy at the grandmother's birthday banquet. The next day at the birthday party, the little boy presented a homemade safety charm to the grandmother as a birthday gift. But the butler scolded him, saying it was a worthless thing, and threw the charm to the ground. The boy's mother hurriedly picked up the charm. The grandmother was about to speak, but the butler interrupted her forcefully. Seeing this, the woman held back her anger. However, the grandmother simply gave the boy a piece of cake, and the young master kicked the boy, causing him to fall. The butler immediately scolded the boy. The boy tried to explain that it was the young master who kicked him, but the butler accused him of slandering the young master, calling him a bastard with no father. Upon hearing this, the grandmother could no longer hold back, and angrily shouted that it was just a piece of cake, not something worth saying such cruel words over. The butler then claimed that the elderly woman had been deceived by them, accusing the woman of a disreputable private life, even saying she didn't know who the boy's father was. To prove his point, the butler rushed up, pulled the mother and son apart, and forcefully removed the boy's gloves, revealing his 6 fingers. The woman couldn't take it anymore and turned to leave with her son, but the butler stopped them, and even raised a vase to smash it over the woman's head. The boy rushed forward to protect his mother, but the butler didn't even spare the child. Thankfully, the CEO arrived just in time, slapping the butler's hand away and stopping him. At this moment, the butler argued that he was only looking out for the family, saying that if the boy weren't a monster, why did he always wear gloves? Upon hearing this, the CEO raised